bandhas, so you get a fair idea of what are we talking in this entire chapter before we complete the whole chapter. In the pranayama, we discussed that you are basically integrating your prana and apanic energy and you are creating that movement, and also you are doing certain bandhas, you are locking yourself when you are creating those movements, and you are bringing the prana and apana together and making it rise in the Sushumna Nadi. That was the whole process of pranayama. Now, mudras and bandhas, why do we do this is for two reasons. One, you are amplifying your prana. When you did our asanas, we were preparing this physical body to be ready to go to the next level, and when we started pranayamas, we started creating the movement. Now, once that movement has got created, now you amplify that. So the process of amplification is through mudras and bandhas. Okay, so that's the whole concept. And also when you amplify your prana, automatically there are certain energy centers in your body which gets activated, which you call it as kundalini. So the whole process of awakening this kundalini also happens during this process. Okay, that's the whole thing around mudras and bandhas.
Kundalini per se has created it. Just to say Kundalini, when you say, what is the meaning for that? Very Kundalini antare. Kundalini energy antive now.
Vital energy.
Basically, is it something to do with that serpent thing what they show?
There, serpentine, no, serpent, ಇದು show ನೋಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, that is a space. ಆ space ಅಲ್ಲಿ serpent energy ಇದೆ, ಕುಂಡಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್. ಕುಂಡಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ಸರ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ವಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸುತ್ತಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
Sir, there are various, I mean, again, this is not in Hatha Yoga Praddeepika, but the concept of Kundalini, there are various things and various perceptions people have created about it. But if you ideally ask, people talk about this, right? Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata Chakra, Vishuddhi, Agnya and Sahasrara. So people talk about these chakras, and there's a lot of things, discussions going on around this. But if you look at the whole process of Kundalini, you talk about certain conscious state. When you are at Mooladhara, when your energy is activated at Mooladhara, you experience a certain state of consciousness. When it moves to Manipura, you experience a certain state of consciousness. When it moves to Anahata, right, you will feel love for all the beings. It's something that you experience, a conscious state, right? And when it reaches your Agnya, you get away with that duality of the manifestation and the unmanifestation. And when they say that energy reaches Sahasrara, then you experience the Advaita, which is everything is one. So it's basically representation of certain conscious states. Right? You cannot take it very physically that okay, there is one nadi in which an energy is raising and you have started experiencing.
The wrong representation that what they show is kind of a serpent raising and things like that.
In the book there are many wrong representations. Even chakras also, I was discussing with Venkatesh. Chakras also, it is not, they show like this. But it should be like this. But it show like this.
ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ. So that's why they show it like that.
It has an aura, so that's the reason that they are shown like that.
No, 2D image ನೋಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ always we feel that spinal cord ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚಕ್ರ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. That is the thing I'm telling. Always it's figures, there is a lot of mistakes.
It's basically not in the physical body. No representation.
Yes.
Purpose ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕೇ ಹೊರತು it is actually in the subtle body.
Yes.
We are all connected to this universe, sir. Because the primordial, if you look at what we are carrying on our physical body or what is our mind or everything has to come from this universe only, right? Where else will it come from? So we are connected to it. So when you look at this chakras, the concept of chakras, it basically gives you that understanding of how deep that connection is, and finally you will reach the source. So each represents one stage when you kind of grow in that.
It's the same prana, Gurukula Hariom meditation. It's the same prana which does two-way movement. One, it raises from Muladhara to Sahasrara, and when it is going up, what emotions it will create, and when it is coming down, what emotions it creates. Like Hariom meditation, he is explaining it. Different emotions come when energy level is flowing up or down.
Okay, so just now we are talking about it's the diagram. Okay, introduction to mudras. I think we have discussed this in detail. Just now we discussed about Kundalini, right? So the first sloka starts with the Lord of Serpents is a support for the earth and its mountains and forests. So Kundalini is the support for all the yogic practices or yoga practices. End of the day, everybody talks about this in different forms. The energy raising in the Kundalini, which we put it very simply here, right? So Sushumna, energy raises, and that is once the energy enters into your Sushumna Nadi, then you can see that your Kundalini has got activated. The people have put a lot of words to it, but it is the experience that you get when these things happen. That's most important thing you have to realize. It's not about just thinking, okay, the Sushumna energy is moving, the energy is moving inside Sushumna, now my Kundalini is activated. It's not thinking about it, it's really experiencing it. It's different, right? Thinking about how you are drinking a coffee and drinking a coffee. There's a difference. Thinking about drinking a coffee is illusionary. But actually drinking coffee, you experience it. Right? So this is about experiencing it, the energy movement inside your Sushumna. Alright. So talk about the Sushumna becomes the royal road of prana and the mind remains objectless. This is the beauty. Once the Kundalini gets activated, the pranic energy starts flowing inside your Kundalini and it starts raising. You start realizing that the objective world that you see in the front starts disappearing. And basically it's a journey from Mooladhara, which represents the whole objective world, to Sahasrara, which represents a world of no objects or your true source. Right? So it's a journey. So he says when the Kundalini energy starts moving inside the Sushumna, you reach a stage where your mind becomes objectless and you reach to your true source. And he says then the death is deceived. People give various words to it, moksha, different words are there, getting away from the cycle of birth and death, reaching the Paramatma. People give it multiple words, but end of the day, this is what it is. You reach that state and you see your death is deceived. And there are various words to it: Sushumna, Shunya Padavi, Brahmarandra, Mahapatha, Smashana, Shambhavi, and all of this refers to the same thing, is what Hatha Yoga Praddeepika says. Okay. So we talk about mudras. So there are 10 mudras that have been told as a part of Hatha Yoga Praddeepika. Mahamudra, Mahabandha, Mahaveda, Kechari, Udiyana Bandha, Moola Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, Viparita Karani, Vajroli. Vajroli has two variations, Sahajoli and Amaroli, and Shakti Chalana. So these are the 10 mudras that Hatha Yoga Praddeepika talks about. Okay. Again, why do you need to do these mudras? To amplify your prana and increase the movement of your prana in your Sushumna. In the process, your Kundalini gets activated for that. And you need to practice this 10 to create that process for you. And also during this process, right, he talks about one more thing in terms of the siddhis that you get. When you are doing this, when you are in this process, you also start getting some siddhis. So there are different siddhis. I think 8 siddhis you have studied already, right? Anima, Garima, Mahima, Laghima, Prapti. That's it. So all these 8 siddhis is what you get during this process of practice of this mudras and bandhas. And they say that this siddhis has to be maintained like a secret. You should not go and reveal